Hello everyone! Welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome for Shelby GT. Hope everyone is good. I think now is a good time to start the 100 miles of Seattle. It's a short endurance race, but it'll be a fun one as well, as we have the Ford GT40 here. This would be a good one to do. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty alright. Looks pretty solid. Maybe a little bit long on the front end, but otherwise it looks good. It looks good. Very clean lines, all of that stuff. Not no issue with it. But anyway, let's drive this Ford GT40, the GT40 Mark III, and let's see what we can do with it. Alright, I know the Shelby Cobra, it is quick initially, but it absolutely kills tires, whereas the Ford GT40 should be able to hold its own, I think. Also, let me know if the audio is doing any weird things or anything like that. Should be good. I did do a hard reset of OBS. I even did an update on it as well, so hopefully that may fix it. But we will see. Actually, this might have legit been a little too quick, as even one lap in, our tires are barely getting anywhere. This might actually be able to go for a little while. I think probably 7 laps. Yeah, 7 laps. Audio's looking fine. Good stuff. Holy moly, this is. You know, I never get the Ford GT40 road car. Occasionally I get the race car in a playthrough. But this is literally, in all my years of playing through this game, this is my first ever time getting the Ford GT40 road car, the Mark III. Which is super cool. And we get to take it up against a bunch of other American vehicles on this Seattle street circuit. Yeah, fronts are surprisingly getting more wear than the rears, which is weird. You wouldn't expect that from a mid-engine rear-wheel drive vehicle. You'd expect the rears to get a little bit more work. But so this is pretty good. The Cobra usually pits every other lap, so that might actually be a. Yeah, so our biggest pace threat is going to be basically gimping themselves with their pit strategy. Oh yeah, that reminds me, honestly, for a next vehicle, considering it's in your name and everything and you like the Ford vehicles, the Shelby Cobra could be a good option there. Ponty, welcome! Hope you're well. How's the racing been? How has everything been on your end? Hopefully y'all been good. Right now, we are doing the first endurance event of the night. It's gonna be 40 laps around this Seattle street circuit. Probably about an hour and a half, thereabouts. And then we can go tackle some more arcade races, I think. Ooh, coming back. Nice. Yeah, sometimes all you need is a little bit of a break, you know, especially if you're getting like a bit of burnout and everything and you've been doing too many. Sometimes it's better to focus down instead of, you know, trying to do so many at once and then not having enough time to effectively practice for one and then, you know, having that lead to burnout. Like with me with my ACC leagues, most of the time I'm driving very similar vehicles, so it's very easy to adapt from one to the other without too much issue. Yeah, best of luck in the league. What kind of cars should be driving in the new NR03 league? I think we may have picked a vehicle that's slightly too fast. Maybe just a little bit. 1998 Cap. Ooh, okay. So Gen 4s. The Gen 4s, I think. Yeah. Nice. Seems like fun. Hopefully you get a lot of good variety of tracks and everything like that. The road courses, the short tracks, the mid sizes, you know, all that stuff. The super speedways, of course. That'd be a good option. Welcome, Hunter. Good wake up in a fantasy world. You wake up in a fantasy when you see half human, half animal. Like, what? That's a question that came out of nowhere. I mean, cat girls are kind of based, but like, I've not given that much thought. I've not given that much thought. That is definitely a question. Probably cat girl, I guess. Maybe. Like two-legged cat girl, not four-legged cat girl. You know. Maybe. I don't know. That's, yeah. But anyway, welcome to the stream, Hunter Iggy. Hope you're well. Right now we got the wonderful Ford GT40 Mark III, and we're in an endurance race at Seattle with a bunch of other American sports and supercars absolutely duking it up. Although we might be a little bit quicker than I initially anticipated. I was not expecting to go that quick, considering we only have around 300 horsepower. Some of these other cars, like the Ford Mustang SVT, the Corvette, and all that have upper 300s, low 400s. But I'm taking it. Yes, the Ford GT40, the cheatsy Gran Turismo 2 Ford GT40 as well. Oh my gosh, it's brilliant to drive. Yeah, I saw they added the R34 in Gran Turismo 7. The other R34. $3 million is a little bit ridiculous, I think, for the price. Like, good job. You've added a vehicle into the game and you made it functionally worse, at least dollar to performance ratio than other R34s. GG Kaz. But yeah, it's cool that they added though. Hopefully, if they get their shit fixed for Gran Turismo 8, they can actually, you know, create events that'll use more of a lot of these kind of similar vehicles they're adding in. Have like a Nismo one make events, or you know, have something for like all the SUVs they're adding in. Maybe. They probably won't, but it'd be cool if they did. You know, since they're already wasting the time modeling all their vehicles. It'd be cool if they had the, you know, use the vehicles as well. Alright, graze into the brakes. There we go. Nice and smooth. We're just steadily getting through this race though. No issues. I was expecting some of the other performance vehicles to give a little bit more trouble, but I guess the oldie is the goldie for this event. I might try to get a slower vehicle then for the Laguna Seca race, because we're only nine minutes in and we're 30 seconds ahead of the second place. Like on paper, they seem very similar in terms of like, you know, performance and everything like that. Yeah, the Ford GT40 is a little bit later, but like not by a whole lot compared to things like, you know, the Corvette and like all that stuff. And you're down a little bit on power. So I was definitely expecting it to be a closer race, given a look at the stat sheets and everything. So I usually try to pick vehicles that be close in performance, but like not like, you know, I was expecting to be this big a difference. Yeah, two more. Yeah, that'd be cool if they got those in as well. The Falcon could easily fit into the Group 4 class, I think. This is roughly on the pace of the Alfa Romeo DTM car. Welcome, Jesus is Lord. I was like 10 or 11. I can still remember playing this race. Yeah, it's the Chimera, it says. Well, this was like one of the shorter endurance races as well, so for like younger people like us, back when we were playing it as kids. This, and the Super Speedway 150 miles are like two of the easier ones to do. And, you know, they actually gave out pretty good vehicles as well, even outside of the open-wheeler cars. I do believe that the open-wheeler car in this one is definitely one of the upper-tier ones. So it's slightly older, so a bit less downforce, but it's got a lot more power. Because it's from the Turbo V6 era of the 80s. So it does have that going for it as well, which is nice. The Cobra is pitting yet again. The Cobra continues to pit. The Cobra will always be pitting every 2 laps. It's up, gotta pit. Jesus, the amount of tires are going through when that Cobra is kind of sad. It's a shame. The Cobra is super cool, but it's really useless in this game. It's a lot more useful in Gran Turismo 4 and later Gran Turismos, as there's a lot more historic vehicle races for it, where it can really kind of showcase its performance alongside other vehicles around its time period and everything. Here, it's definitely got the short end of the stick against more modern vehicles that can conserve their tires better. Like, I will fully admit, I am also intentionally driving. I mean, I am intentionally driving in a way that's trying to conserve tires just a little bit. That way I can avoid pitting just a little bit longer. Cobra was notoriously off on Laguna Seca as well. Yeah! There was here. But I think the only races where it was like really tricky were pretty much anything on like Super Speedway. Super Speedway was genuinely like the Cobra's like main track, where it wasn't, you know, it wasn't just going off everywhere. Cause it didn't have the good brakes and everything. And because of that, it slid into the corners, which absolutely melted the tires as well. Which is why the Cobra like it goes 2 laps and it's like, nope, gotta pit, tire's dead. Well, I guess as a racer, I could probably appreciate him laying down even more rubber for us. That way we get some we get a little bit of extra grip. Gran Turismo 3 doesn't simulate that, but it'd be cool if it did, especially with how slidey it has been. There we go. Get ourselves some fresh tires, so we can go 8 laps. So 8, 16, 24, 32. Okay, cool. So we got this pretty solid, I think. We just have to avoid pitting on lap 40 and we're golden. Every 8 laps and we'll be perfectly fine, perfectly A-okay. I think. Alright, let's get the power back uphill. Alright, so we are basically 1/5 through. 1/5 through, so 13 minutes is 1/5. So yeah, probably about an hour and 15 minutes for this race time. Not bad, honestly, all things considering. Like this is definitely one of the shorter. There's the Cobra pitting again. There is, what's the word I'm looking for? This is definitely one of the shorter endurance races alongside the Super Speedway, 150 miles. Super Speedway, I think, might be a little bit quicker. I might attempt to do that one too tonight. That way we can get 2 endurance races knocked out. Depends on how much time I got left after this race. I might do the arcade races instead because I know we need to get those as well, and that adds a little bit of vehicle and track variety instead of just doing 2 enduros. It should be fun. It should be fun. We'll be fine. Ooh, okay. Big jump there. Alright, we'll go in. Nice. Alright, what'll be the first vehicle? What'll be the first vehicle we come up on? Wonder, have we even lapped the Cobra yet? Probably. I mean, it's been pitting every 2 laps, so every other lap it's adding like an extra, what, 15, 20, 30 seconds to the pit stop? So we'll probably end up, we probably lapped the Cobra already, I think. It wouldn't surprise me if we already lapped the Cobra anyway. Alright, here we go. Tippy tap. Back to the right. Alright, not quite the fastest lap, but we're right up there with our original lap times and everything. So as long as we keep our conserving our tires, we'll be fine. Gosh, it is surprising just how small the GT40 looks though. Like, especially when I get close to another vehicle, I'm gonna try to go back into third-person mode and kind of show you guys just how small it is. It's just itty bitty. Alright, down a gear. Gotta be a little bit careful though, because you do drop a lot of revs going through the gears as well, so we gotta kind of rev the engine out a bit. Because anything lower than like 4,000 RPMs, it kind of falls out of the power band. Let's see. I think that's the Cobra up ahead. We will see. It's either the Cobra or the SVT Cobra R. Either way, I saw a flash of red. If it pits, we know it's the Cobra. It's the Cobra. The Cobra again. The Cobra is pitting. Oh my word. This thing probably pits close to 20 times this race. So it's going through basically like 80 sets, or 80 tires for 1 hour race. 80, holy moly, bruh, that is a lot of tires. Oh, alright, it did not like that jump there. The game did not like that jump. Holy moly, that that is hilarious, actually. Alright, what are you? What are you? I think that's the Camaro. That looks like the Camaro. I recognize those taillights. So let's go say hi to the catfish. Let's go say hi to the catfish Camaro. Yes. Oh wait, that's not even the catfish Camaro. That's a Z28 Camaro, the older one, with almost the Gen 3 style headlights. I think. Yeah. It's not even the SS. Yeah, it's the older. To be fair, I actually kind of prefer those style headlights over the newer Gen 4 Camaro headlights. Makes it look a little bit more mature as opposed to the catfish. The Catmaro. Yeah, I will say in the 4th generation F bodies, the Trans Am looks so much better. Sorry, Chevy, but Pontiac definitely made a better silhouette than you guys. Like holy moly, the full gen Camaro looks a little bit rough. Which is weird, because in most other generations, I actually prefer the Camaro over the Trans Am. Like, I think only early 2nd generation, like later 2nd generation, the Trans Am begins looking better than the Camaro again. But other than that, I kind of prefer the Camaro. I know it's a lot of more of the aesthetics and everything, less performance and all that stuff, but you know, still, you know, if you're driving a performance vehicle, you want it to look good as well. You always got to make sure it looks good. All right, let's see who we're lapping next. We lapped the Cobra, we lapped the Z28 Camaro. What are the next vehicles, huh? What are you thinking, chat? Oh, you want to place your bets on what the next vehicle is? It's probably not the Corvette, because the Corvette's in the lead. So we got, I believe, the Cobra's pitting again. I think it might be the Viper. I'm pretty sure it's probably the Viper. No, okay, it's not. I saw that red. That is the Ford Mustang, the SVT Cobra. Thoughts on the 05, the 2010 body change? I personally, I kind of liked it. 05 Mustangs early on were a little bit too boxy. Like they tried to overcorrect, I think. Oh, it's not the Viper, it's the Corvette Grand Sport. Okay, fair enough. But they eventually kind of like rounded it out a little bit more. It kind of broke up the silhouette a bit, and I think that really kind of made it, you know, a lot more distinctive. The earlier 05 Mustangs, they don't look bad, but it definitely feels like they're lacking a little bit. Whereas later on, they're definitely, you know, a lot better, a bit more rounded, a little bit more, you know, kind of almost looking a little bit more aero. That will say, unlike me disliking the 4th gen Camaros, I actually don't mind the S1095 and New Edge Mustang designs. I know some people didn't quite like them because they found them very bubbly and everything, but I actually really like those looks. Especially the once I went to the New Edge design with the narrower front headlights. I think that really looked pretty good, especially the like the SVT and Shelby variants and everything. Looked pretty solid. Of course, you got the SVT Cobra, which is just absolutely top-notch, beautiful machine. So that probably helps my opinion on the 4th gen Mustangs. Oh, there's the Corvette. There's the leader. So many of the cars in this area look pretty good though. At least the vehicles that were featured in like Gran Turismo and everything. Like you have the S2000, the NSXs, the Corvettes, the RX. Like it was just so good. Provided they actually do anything with them, sure. They got a couple hundred other road cars they need to find and create good events for, as well as racing cars and everything like that. They can add as many cars to Gran Turismo as you want, but if there's no racing events for them, you get them, you customize them, you make a couple escapes photos of them, and then what do you really do with them? Pretty much nothing. Like the older Gran Turismo games got it that the purpose of a racing game was, well, racing. Yeah, they definitely went hard into like the kind of like the retro-inspired design, and that kind of affected the Challenger and the later Camaro as well, which is pretty cool. And I do like the kind of them adding a few more like angular lines and everything like that to kind of, you know, spice up the profile a little bit. But I definitely prefer the later 2000s Mustangs over the earlier 2000s 5th gen Mustangs, as they did kind of slightly soften up and break up the silhouette a little bit over the what I could best describe as the block of metal type of look. Was just kind of very much a 3-box style in a way, with the rounded roof. The later Mustangs definitely looked a little bit better in that regards. Alright, yeah, we're heading this lap. Alrighty. I think we can get out before the Corvette passes us. I'm not too sure about that. Maybe. The Corvette does slow down quite a bit for the chicane. Oh, never mind. The Corvette's pitting too. Well, that made that redundant. that made that a little bit redundant. Sure. BMW engine and stuff. I've not seen that, so I'll have to kind of look that up later on. BMW and a Charger though. It's a bit interesting. Especially because usually Dodge hasn't had the most Chrysler and a lot of like the American cars that are now under the Stellantis brand haven't exactly had the most fruitful relationships with German manufacturers, shall we say. See also the Daimler Chrysler Mercedes partnership in the 90s to 2000s, and how that kind of didn't exactly turn out all that well. Both sides kind of felt like they got screwed over by the other. Dodge and Chrysler felt like whenever they tried to go upmarket a bit, Mercedes would shoot them down, and Mercedes felt like it was basically just giving, you know, spare parts and more technology to Dodge and Chrysler for little in return. So it was a match made in hell, unfortunately. And that match gave us the Chrysler Crossfire, which was built on the same chassis, I believe, as the Mercedes SLK, which I actually kind of like the Mercedes SLK. But the Chrysler Crossfire is ugly. Yeah, let's go with that. It's just kind of ugly. It is not a particularly good looking car. It's not in my opinion. So the fact that Dodge, Chrysler, and everything is trying to go back to the Germans, that is true, and they are using a BMW engine in that. It is a little bit interesting. I will withhold judgment until I see it for myself. But we will see. We will see. Oh gosh, we will not see with that. We will not see with that. That was big oof. Here we go. All right. Let's try not to touch the walls some more. Gosh, one thing I wish is that newer Gran Turismos did more endurance races. They have the tech. They have, like, you know, the variable weather, the variable time of day, the larger grid sizes. They have the amount of vehicles to do it as well. And they just don't, unfortunately. Like having, you know, multiple hour enduros that pay like a crazy amount of money, but, you know, are genuinely kind of challenging would be a cool thing to do. Because right now in Gran Turismo 7, the longest race is literally like an hour. No, correct that. It is an hour. The spa race. Like, bruh, you really? Come on, you could do better than that, Polyphony. When Gran Turismo 4 had 24-hour races, Gran Turismo 5 as well did, had 24-hour races where you didn't really have variable weather, you didn't really have variable time, you had fairly small grid sizes. Like the fact that you got everything else, all the other building blocks that were holding you back in the earlier games, and you're not going through with it, like, come on. Come on, Gran Turismo, come on, Polyphony. You could do so much better than that. At least that's my 2 cents. It could be cool to get other historic race cars that would have competed with the that Mercedes AMG historic race car, the Red Pig, during that time period, that we can create an old school 24 hours of spa for like the historic cars and everything. That would be a cool, unique endurance race. You know, getting the Group C's, the Group C cars on Le Sarthe without the chicanes for a 24-hour race would be cool. You know, having we already have kind of a roadster race, so maybe use like the Civic Touring car, because that doesn't get used much. Use the Civic Touring car in like a 2-hour kind of club level style race, kind of mimicking like Grid Life or something like that at like Road Atlanta. That could be cool. With Road Atlanta as well, you can do the Petit Le Mans style with the modern Group 1 cars. Either the LMP1 era, or if they want to add more of the LMDH and LMH cars, since they only have the Toyota Giro 010 right now. Could be cool. Could be really, really awesome. I don't know, they got a lot of options that I feel like they could really make work. I mean, you got GT3 cars at the wazoo. You got plenty of possibilities for racing there. You know, 6-hour Watkins Glen race. You can go to the old SRO 8 hours of Laguna Seca. Ow. You got the GT 500 cars. You can do like the Laguna, not the Laguna, the Suzuka 1000 kilometers. Like that type of stuff. That type of stuff would kick ass. You could have the weather be real time instead of the super fast, almost rushed, where one lap it's perfectly dry, the next lap it's torrential downpour, and then the next lap it's already dry again. Style weather that's in a lot of the faster races, the shorter races. So you can actually have, you know, make use of that collaboration with NASA to actually have real-time weather in a real-time race. I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool as hell. And they just don't do it. I don't know why, but they just don't. Like they have the vehicle and track variety and depth now. They have all the systems in place where they genuinely could really do it, and they just don't. Bit of a shame, innit? Oh well. Anyway, let's keep it going. We're absolutely tearing up these streets. Next pit stop, lap 24, going into lap 25. We're already halfway done. Definitely one of the shorter races here. I know we're gonna have a couple of longer races later on. The Special Stage Route 11 all night, the Tokyo Route 2 46 endurance, and the prototype Mistral 78 laps. Basically, the sports car Monaco Grand Prix are gonna be a little bit on the longer side. Especially the Tokyo race. The Tokyo race will be closer to 3 hours long. I think that is generally the longest race in the game. So that'll be fun. Hopefully, one of them also gives us an open wheeler car. As we are slowly kind of, I say slowly. We've only done 2 endurance races. Oh yeah, we still got the Rome 2 hours as well. Yeah, we gotta work that out for us, but I am going to do my damnedest. I'm going to do my damnedest to 100% this game by the end of the year. That is my plan. And I feel like I'm partially on track. I might double up after we beat Kiter Racer to do 2 Gran Turismo 3 streams a week. At least to start, just to have a little bit of fun with that. That way we're well into the clear of 100% completion by the end of the year. So I wanna make sure I complete. I always wanted to, you know, complete this one on stream. So I want to make sure I do that quick. This is genuinely one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely up there. Definitely top 5 favorite of all time games. Probably. Yeah, probably top 5. Definitely top 5. Maybe top 3. Probably favorite. That Carbon. Maybe Pro Street. I don't know. This is definitely up there for sure. But I will fully admit there are times when I do get the craving to play other games as well, where I'm like, this could be genuinely fun. There's a lot of games I quite like though, and it's been an absolute blast playing most of them on stream as well. Oop, a little bit of a bonk, a little bit of a tippy tap there, a little bit of a bonk, itty bitty bonk. Here we go. Yeah, we're pitting again this lap. So this is been going quite well for us, I think. We'll be like 60-ish% done, something like that. Yeah, this lap, completing this lap puts us right at 60% done. So, man, I like the shorter endurance races as well. Like Gran Turismo 3 had like the good mix of like the longer and the shorter ones, I think. 4 skewed a little too heavily into like the really long races, especially for like, you know, what it could actually do. But it was still a lot of fun. Like, I absolutely loved like the Roadster 4-hour endurance race, or like the tuning car, you know, 9-hour race at Motegi. Both are pretty cool, actually. And it was always fun trying to get vehicles that were like equal or like slightly slower than like what you'd be competing against. And that was always really cool, because then like you really felt like you were like, you know, putting in the strategy and everything like that. I tried to do it for this one here. I made a slight mistake by underestimating the GT40 a little bit. I would not be doing that again. I have to see what other American cars we have for the other races. Oh my gosh, we're doing great. Gosh, this track is beautiful as well. It's a cool time capsule, this track as well, as due to the stadium being reconstructed and rebuilt and moved and everything, this track technically cannot exist, at least not in this configuration anymore. It is pretty much entirely like it is a product of its time. It cannot exist anymore, or at least not unless they revert back to an older, you know, an older layout of Seattle when constructing something later on, which is super cool. Like, it basically kind of captures what Seattle, granted a definitely a clean, kind of sanitized version of Seattle, but still Seattle nonetheless looked in the late 90s, early 2000s, so kind of buildings and everything. It's kind of cool to go like on the Google Maps and go around like the different tracks and everything nowadays and see what's still there, what's changed and all that, because these do use real roads. So it'd be cool to see, you know, kind of see the site from like without all like the grandstands and the barriers and signage and everything like that, what it actually looks like in this area. Oh, there goes the Corvette. Corvette's probably pitting this lap, I think. Yeah, they are. Whoa, hey, don't come back onto our line. Alright. Let's get by them. No, look at, they're continuing another lap. They probably should pit, given their the way they were driving there. They could not take that the bus stop section. They were struggling hard. Oh yeah, I forgot, since we started this race at 0, we can actually see how close we're getting to 100 miles with the odometer down below. That's actually smart. That is actually smart. So we are basically 61% done. That actually doesn't make sense because we're getting really close to lap 30. Something might be a little bit broken. Maybe we're doing just a little bit under 100 miles. Probably. We'll get to see exactly how many miles we do. Alright, back again to the left. Come on, full send, full send. There we go. There's the Mustang. Dang, still can't quite do the 134s. That must have been an absolute blitz of a lap. I'll do my best to try to get back up there with that time. Get ourselves done just a little bit quicker. It's gonna be tough though. It is definitely gonna be tough. Alright, there we go, there we go, there we go. We're good, we're good, we're good. Keep sending it. Alright, we're doing alright. I think next time we're pitting is lap 32, so we got a couple more laps for the next pit, the final pit stop. And then we'll be doing more of the arcade mode races after that. So shorter 5-lap races instead of the longer 40 laps. Just to get a little bit of variety in. Oh, ooh, okay, the Corvette Z06 is going a little bit wide. Alright, I see you. Can I send up the inside here? Yes, I will. There we go. Perfect. Alright, Corvette's not pitting. Is the Mustang pitting? Mustang is not pitting. Is the other Corvette pitting? Maybe. All we know for certain is that the Shelby Cobra is going to be pitting. Oh, okay, the other Corvette's not pitting either. Alright, so let's see. Is the car ahead? Is that the Camaro or is that going to be the Cobra? Probably the Camaro. If I were to hazard a guess. We will see if that dot on the bottom right side of the map goes into the pits. Well, we know the Cobra is pitting. Oh, okay, this might be the Cobra then. This might actually be the Cobra ahead of us then. No, that means we won't pass it on track, if that is the case. Oh well. Yeah. There's the Cobra. There's the Cobra pitting in. Okay, so the other one is the Camaro. Oof. Okay, that was bad. That was a bad line through there. All right, lap 30. So 3 more laps until we pit for the final time. They get the win this Seattle Sports Car Grand Prix, the 100 miles of Seattle. So the game says we're closer to 75% done for the lap counter, but in terms of the odometer, we're closer to 70%. That is a pretty big distance differential. So we will see. I want to know then exactly how many miles we end up doing if it is quote unquote 100 miles. We are at the nice number though. So we got that at least. Yeah. The very nice number. Alright, we're halfway through the funny number. And boop. Down. Aww. And there we go. The funny number is gone. The funny number is gone. Rip. Big rip there. Big oof. Well, there goes the Corvette pitting. In 2 laps we will be pitting as well, so let's do this. Let's put up a good show. Let's put up a good fight. We'll be getting close to the Camaro as well. So let's see if we can't get by them before we pit. Not if we keep driving like that. Not if we keep driving like that. That was. Hit your apexes. Don't hit the inner wall on the apex, please, Isaac. Thank you. Grazie. Oh, it looks so good though. It's just such a happy little cheatsy for a GT. Oh yeah, I wanted to showcase the size. I wanted to showcase the size difference. Alright, so the Camaro's pitting now. So we pit on the next lap, so we'll probably be behind it. Hopefully. Or it'll be close. Yeah, because the Camaro's already just coming out now behind us. And we still gotta pit this lap, so I doubt we can make up 15-20 seconds in a single lap. So we'll showcase the size between the Camaro and the Ford GT then. Because the GT, it's tiny. It is adorable, but it is tiny. There we go. Oop, back to the left. Perfect. Alright. Let's make sure we get a good, nice, clean pit stop. And then we'll come out right behind the Camaro again. We can showcase just how itty bitty the GT is. I mean, the 40 and the GT40 comes from its height, so. Fun fact is with the the Ford GT40s, Dan Gurney, due to this, how tall he was, actually had to have extra space cut out for his helmet to fit in and everything without it bumping against the roof. And later modifications to other similar vehicles became known as gurney bubbles. You got gurney bubbles, you got gurney flaps. You have the spraying of champagne, the MR2, a lot of things you can well and truly contribute to Dan Gurney. Oh, we're actually coming out ahead of the Camaro. Say we are, okay. I'll slow down just a little bit to kind of better showcase. Look how much lower, the GT is than the Camaro. Like the GT is itty bitty. Oh, all right. You're gonna close it on me there. That's fine, buddy. I can give you a little nudge. That is low. That is super low. Alright, let's finish this race now. Hopefully we get an open wheel car, because the rest of the cars available for this race aren't exactly that... They aren't the best. They're okay. But having the open wheel car really makes a difference. Because then you get the possibility of competing in the Formula Gran Turismo World Championship. Which, one, gives a whole bunch of money, and two, you know, is a major stepping stone to actually completing the game. Plus, you also get a very long championship with lots of longer races as well, which so it feels like an actual kind of Formula One season. Alright. 7 more laps to go. Basically 10 minutes. 10, 12 minutes. Something around that range. Let's make it count. There we go. Alright, brake right here. Always streaming during Evo. Why is Evo always happening when I'm streaming? Welcome, Adachi. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you here. We're just about done our 40-lap endurance race in Seattle. And this is for GT. I was expecting it to be a closer race. Needless to say, we kind of blow them out of the water. You've been streaming since 05? Yes. I was here first, damn it. Evo needs to know their place. I can't even say it with a straight face. Wasn't intentional, it's just the evening's the only time I can really realistically stream. And I want my Gran Turismo. Plus I'm gonna be going away next week, so you know, I wanna get a fairly full schedule in this week to, you know, let you guys have some VODs and everything, watch if you can't make them. You've been around forever, so even before 05. Well, that's pretty cool that, you know, that they've been able to be there for basically 2 decades now. Like that is a fairly, as in the realm of entertainment and esports and all that stuff, that is pretty impressive. Like other games, other like events and everything kind of come and go. Having that's pretty cool. You just shut some like 11 a.m. to mid. Jeez. I feel like we've already had like an Evo this year though. Or maybe I'm mistaken that for something else. I might be mistaken for something else, but I swear, like earlier this year there was an Evo. But again, it's been around since the 80s, people never really clinched them. Fair. And hey, now you can gamble on which fighter you think will win. which player, which team you think will win, or which player you think you will win. Ah, it was Evo Japan last year. Okay. So this year it's what, like Evo US? I see. So there's multiple Evos. It's just like it always seems like it's like right around Eid as well. Where like every other month it's like Happy Eid. I'm like, oh shoot, okay. Like how many Eids are there in a year? I mean, I wish we were happy, you know, holidays and everything like that, regardless. But how many that actually is in a year? I think it's what, 2, 3. I think it's 2. I think it's 2. I think it's like every, right around like the equinox, like the spring and fall equinox time, something like that. I can't remember. Either way. Either way, either way. That was just something that was like, oh wait, I thought we just celebrated that. Oh, it looks so beautiful. I love me Ford GT. Fun fact, I actually did make a road-going version of the Ford GT40. It was the Mark III. And holy moly. It is beautiful. There was only like 13 made of the road-going Ford GT40. Very, very small numbers, so they're worth quite a bit nowadays. They are worth a pretty penny, I think. All right, 4 more laps to go. 6 minutes. Okay, so this is only just barely over an hour, actually. I will take that. Actually, not that long of an enduro. So we got plenty of time to do more of the arcade mode races. Also, next week I am planning on probably streaming Gran Turismo more, and I might make that a bit of a longer stream. Maybe try to do the Tokyo Route 246 Enduro there. Maybe. As I know that one is like almost 3 hours to do that one and do some arcade mode races. Ooh, alright, in the coming laps we're gonna be lapping our opponents for the final time. This is gonna be good. Let's make it count. Let's give them one last wave as we go by them. One last send-off. Sounds like the GT40. It is the road-going version. Welcome, Jibby. Hope you've been well. Since we couldn't use it in the Tri Mountain Endurance race, we're using it here in Seattle instead. And it is serving us. It is serving us well. Absolutely lovely. Beautiful handling, beautiful traction, solid acceleration. Like, this feels very, very nice to drive. Gotta be a little bit careful though. Alright, there's the Corvette Grand Sport. We got a C4 Corvette. Yeah, the GT40 and Gran Turismo 2 was also really nice. Unless you were racing against it at Rome, in which case... Oh no. Oh. Alright, there goes the Vet, there goes the Grand Sport. There goes the other Vet pitting. The Mustang's pitting. Of course the Shelby Cobra is pitting. Why wouldn't the Shelby Cobra be pitting? Oh, we're really all gonna be passing them. Rome full course, and he is there. He do be there. We miss passing the Cobra and the Mustang Cobra, the SVT Cobra, on track. And I don't think we can get the Camaro. Camaro is all by its lonesome way up on the northern side of the track. But we will try. Oh my God, will we try? Try all the time. Something institution. Alrighty, come on. 1.5 laps to go. Literally 2 minutes until we get to taste the sweet nectar of victory. Where we get to spray the champagne on the top step of the podium. Where we get to have well, not necessarily a choice, but a selection, the game's choice of a prize car. Hopefully a good prize car as well, I might add. So we will have to see. All right, little bit of spiciness there. One more lap. Minute and 35 to go. So it would have taken us probably 66. Yeah, 66. So an hour and 6 minutes to do this race. Not bad for an enduro. Not bad at all for an enduro. And we'll probably be around, what, 94 miles, I think? So just shy of 100. I guess it didn't let it do like a 41 or 42 laps to make it actually 100 miles. Rip. Big oof there. Yeah, we're looking at like 93, 94 miles total. Through the final sector. We're starting the final sector now. Only a couple of turns. Let's make it count. Across the line. Let's go. Give us our money. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. Good car. Good car. Good car. We already have like 2 of those. I think at least 2 of those. I mean, we're better than, I mean, and, yeah. Alright, let's go to the arcade mode. Time to do some of the shorter races to increase our percentage complete. Welcome, Midnight. Hope you're well. Actually, I gotta see. Alright, so Rome and Tahiti. Rome and Tahiti are the things we need to do for these ones. So let's do Rome. Ooh, and let's get ourselves the Spoon S2000 race car for this one. This will be a good one. This will be a fun one. Because this one being more of a top speed circuit, we don't quite need the downforce, I think. Only have the last 2 areas left in arcade mode. Oh, fun, fun. Hopefully it goes well for you. Looking, just watching the Tekken finals. Ooh. Hopefully they Tekken well. Hopefully they Tekken their victory and defeat in stride. That was terrible, Isaac. I know, Isaac. Alright, come on. I need to get close so you can give me your suck. We're using the actual arcade mode cars that... Yeah. Especially because then it's harder to, if you add too many miles, you gotta go back and then add more, like you gotta change oil and do the maintenance stem and all that stuff. Bit unfortunate that that's the case, but I mean it makes sense if you're, you know, gonna be using the career mode cars, you should probably, you know, have to take care of them. Especially if they come with like all the adjustments and settings and everything that already give you the benefits. Ooh boy. Am I really being out-dragged by rally cars here? Yeah, I same. Otherwise I could use things like the you know, the Scudo and all that stuff. I'm not sure about this one, chat. Yeah, no, I'm not sure about it. That one was a bit, bit rough. Let's get some the JGTC cars instead on that. Oh, an F1. Oh yes, the F1 car on Côte d'Azur would be cool. That'd be a good, a good tie-in and everything like that to, you know, racing in open willows on that track. I'd love for Côte d'Azur to make a comeback. That'd be super cool. Hey, we got another Nissan Skyline with the same livery as us here. Alright, let's see if we can make it work. Oh, don't run me wide, don't run me wide. I'm alongside you still. Which Gran Turismo is my favorite track list? Oh. Part of me wants to say 6, but it has a lot of bogey tracks as well in 6. Where they're just not enjoyable. Like a lot of the city tracks in 6 I don't really like, as well as like Matterhorn and like that type of stuff. Probably 3. 3 has it has a smaller track selection, but the tracks in 3 are consistently good. Like, they're consistently good at minimum, and usually they're pretty better than good. 4's got a lot of really great ones, but it's also got a lot of duds. Like a lot of the driving park tracks, like beginner course, or like some of the street circuits, like Opera Paris, as well as Ice Arena, are all pretty terrible, I think. But it does have a lot of really good original tracks, and it has a very good collection of real-world circuits, some of which being exclusive to 4, like Sonoma. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Yeah, I'd say probably either 3 or 4. 3 has the most consistently good tracks, but 4, in terms of the track quality to track list size, if you combine the 2 as like a cumulative score, then 4 would be better. If you're going by averages, 3 is better. If you're going by cumulative score, 4 is better. I know, Sonoma Sonoma is such a missed opportunity. It's I absolutely love driving on that track in like the Sims as well, the different sim racing titles. So it is a blast. It's definitely an underrated track that sometimes gets overshadowed by other Californian tracks like Laguna Seca or like Long Beach and stuff. Sonoma kind of gets a little bit overshadowed. It's a bit unfortunate as it is a good track. Oh yeah, Laguna's not made for NASCAR. Laguna's made for sports cars and open wheelers. Maybe. They got a lot of tracks that could probably make some solid IndyCar courses on. Like they got Watkins Glen, which had previously been an IndyCar course. They got Laguna Seca, right? They got Brands Hatch, which believe it or not, hosted an IndyCar race. They got a whole bunch of Grade 1 FIA tracks that you could probably use for IndyCar. You got some shorts ovals. And some low bank ovals like Blue Moon Bay, or Blue Moon Speedway, or something like that. That you could very easily host open wheel IndyCar races on. Yeah, I just want them to put more effort into the events instead of just making sure all the nuts and bolts on the cars are perfectly accurate. Like, I want more, like, actual races and more variety in my races, please. Less chase the rabbit, catch up, you know, 10 to 15-ish minute races, more variety, some shorter, some longer. Like, I want endurance races. Standard cars come back. And honestly, I would take standard cars if it meant more races and more event variety. But I know I'm probably a minority in that one because everyone loves the graphics. But I wouldn't mind. I'm not entirely against standard cars because I either play in cockpit view or bumper cam. And it's not even like, even in Gran Turismo 7, right? Even in Gran Turismo 7 now, not every vehicle has an interior view. Like a lot of the earlier Vision Gran Turismo cars, which is annoying because they were designed specifically for the game to feature cockpit views, does not have cockpit views. Like the Mercedes definitely doesn't, the Lexus definitely doesn't. I don't believe the BMW does. Like you definitely got a few that they just don't have a cockpit view. And yum. Across the line, let's go. Can't say I don't have it. Fair enough, but like I know for a fact that both the Mercedes and the Lexus don't, because I have both of those. I won the Mercedes in a wheel spin, and then I got the Lexus because I wanted to use that. Yes! They have the tech, they have the ability to have the grid size for 24-hour races. They got the weather they could use for 24-hour races. They got so much that they're not using. Like, bruh. You got all these tracks that hosted 24-hour races as well, right? Daytona, Nürburgring Nordschleife, the Le Mans track. You know? Like, what is your problem? You literally have most of the IMSA, like, endurance series tracks as well. They're just missing They're just missing Sebring and Indianapolis. And if they get the IndyCar license, they'll have Indianapolis. So they could probably get the road course as well. But it's not Nords. I know it's based in real life, but no. Fair. Fine. I don't know. If they did it less GT3s and more like touring cars or like GT4s as like a 24-hour race, the contrast like the prototype with GT3 24s. Oh yeah, they got Spa. They've had Spa for a while. No Spa 24. Sorry. Best we can do is a 1-hour race at Spa. Where the weather and the time changes way too much to actually effectively strategize. So you're more reacting instead of actually planning things out. Yeah. Like it was like a DLC in 5, I think. Like, come on. You couldn't do it 24 hours in Spa, especially when like you went full like esports and like had all like the GT3 style cars and everything. Come on, Polyphony, you're better than that. Motegi, oh yes, Motegi would be an absolute beast. Motegi would be good. Me personally, I want Sebring. Like if I could get only one track added to real life track added to Gran Turismo 7, it would probably be Sebring. Or Gran Turismo 8. Probably Sebring. That or Silverstone, one or the other. Because Silverstone has the multiple different track variations, and you also have the Stowe circuit in the center, which could be used for go-karts as well to actually, you know, better utilize the karts in the game. But Sebring is, you know, that classic historic track that, like, you know, is very unique with all the bumps and the old school tarmac that would provide a unique challenge. Either of those two, I think, would be a good option. And Sebring does have shorter club layouts that could be useful and fun for like the slower cars. But yeah, either Silverstone or Sebring, I think. There's a whole ass IndyCar series. There'd be a lot of tracks to get for that one though. You need Indianapolis. You need two street circuits. St. Petersburg and 3 street circuits. So St. Petersburg, Long Beach, and Detroit. You need quite a few ovals like Nashville, Iowa, Milwaukee, I think as well. And then you need a lot of the courses for the West Coast swing, like Thermal and Portland. But it'd be pretty cool if they could do that. That or replace those events with other IndyCar, like other venues IndyCar has raced at previously. Like, you know, like Watkins Glen, like, you know, Motegi, like Brands Hatch. And have those be like the stand-ins for like some of the other tracks. That could work as well. That could work as well. Wait, new IndyCar game? Maybe. I know currently, iRacing is like the biggest place to go if you want to do like IndyCar racing. As they do run like the full length races, they have like the Indy 500 and everything like that. We got a proper IndyCar game since I had an all-oval schedule. Back during the split when you had the IRL versus the karts era. where IRL was exclusively on ovals, and part was a mixture of oval, street circuits, and permanent road courses. Fun fact, Tony Stewart, yes, that Tony Stewart, actually used to race in the Indy Racing League before he switched over to NASCAR. Just a little fun little tidbit. He won quite a few races in the IRL as well. But it's always funny watching like the old broadcasts, especially with people who don't really like watch racing as much, and they're like, wait a second, Tony Stewart, is that the same guy that was like the NASCAR driver? Yes. He used to race in like open wheelers. Yes, actually. He got his start in dirt track like the sprint cars. And since with the split, the IRL was basically the final stage for like the USAC sprint car ladder. You had a lot of people going from dirt to IndyCar for these races, and Tony Stewart was one of them. Now he does drag racing. Yeah, Forza also has IndyCar as well, but Forza's very much kind of like the... We kind of have everything, but we're not trying to, like, do much with the everything we got. You know, mile wide, inch deep type of mentality. Ooh, Swiss Alps. Alright, let's do this, let's do this. Yeah, well, iRacing, you know, they're able to afford the licenses because iRacing, you were paying out the nose for. iRacing's expensive as fuck. iRacing is expensive as fuck. I'm not gonna mince words. iRacing is very pricey. But in terms of the sheer variety and depth of content, there isn't too many other games that really can match it. Like ACC, if you like GT racing, like GT3 and GT4 racing, ACC's got a pretty solid selection of cars and tracks for that. And dollar per dollar, especially with how often that game is on sale, you do get your money's worth for a set of Corsa Competizione. But if you want to do pretty much everything that's got like an actual sanctioned racing series, iRacing is probably one of your best bets. And I say this as someone who's usually frequently very critical of iRacing. But I still won't deny the sheer depth and variety of content as well. It's a lot. So they are still lacking quite a bit in the Asia and Middle East regions in terms of tracks. And their GT3s, while they've gotten a little bit better, are a little bit more lacking. They are slow to add newer content as well that comes out. Like they just recently, earlier this year, added the Honda NSX GT3, which has been around since 2020. So, you know. And their Huracan GT3 is the non-Evo version, whereas Lamborghini, this coming up next year, is going to be running an all-new GT3 based off of the new baby Lambo. Whereas the one in iRacing is still the original Huracan GT3 from like 2015. But they have tried to get it a little bit better. Like this year alone, they added the Mustang, they added the Well, recently they've been at, you know, they added the Mustang, they added the McLaren, they added the C8 Corvette. They added the Honda NSX, so they've been definitely trying to really bump up their GT3 field size and everything with the variety. But yeah, they got a decent selection. There we go, back again to the right. Only 2 more laps to go. This is the only time we really get to drive the Lancia Delta as well, just because it's not really a rally prize car, and also it is very expensive at $500,000 in game. So it is, well, it is a prize car, but it's for like the Rome 2 hours. Which usually at that point we have other, you know, racing and rally cars and everything before doing that. Alright, a little bit slower. Let's try to go a little bit quick for the final lap. There we go, around the corner. On this Swiss boot. There we go. Yum. Gosh, this thing is... I love the sound of the rally cars, though. The sheer aggression in the blow-off valves. Pew, pew, pew! I love these cars. Alright, back to the left. Let's keep it going. Half a lap to go, if that. And then we'll be moving on to a tarmac race. I can see what kind of options we got for vehicles there. We will have to see what kind of cars we want to drive. We are gradually getting more vehicles as well to use in arcade mode each time we complete a region. So that is good. And we're getting closer to that elusive 75% completion, which does give us a wonderful vehicle as well. Like, we're in the mid-60s now, so we could probably bump that up a little bit more. Alright, try Mountain 2. So we'll probably use... I'm thinking of using a road car for this. What options we got? What about in the B class? Not a bad selection either. What about in the A class? Yeah. This would be good. Let's go use our Impreza. This would be nice. Alright, a lot of other Japanese 280 horsepower cars. So we got the all-wheel drive. So we'll have to see if that actually gives us a little bit of an advantage. I move to the right. Oh, we got the RX-8 concept as well. Ooh, okay. Wow, okay, that is massive amounts of understeer. That is good to know. Holy moly. That is crazy. Alright. Thankfully we're right up with the pack as well. So as long as we can stay within the suck, we got this. It does have that killer acceleration though. But we gotta be a little bit careful. It is a little bit prone to understeer. So we'll have to kind of kill a little bit more momentum into the corners and use the superior forward drive traction and acceleration to really kind of bring home the bacon. Okay. Alright, come on. Let's keep it going. Back to the right. There we go. Perfect. We got the better run out of that corner. Nice and smooth. Alright, let's make sure we keep this now. Let's keep this lead. I kind of like the bug-eye Impreza. It's not quite my favorite. My favorite is still the blob eyes, but the bug eyes are pretty nice as well. Very cute, but still they got that performance to really, you know, knock the wind out of your lungs if you're not careful. All right, here we go. This will be a good race. I think next one. Ooh, okay. Ow. Caught a little bit of understeer there, and that got us right into the rocks. Oh boy. Okay. I think next one we might use one of the GT300 cars, depending on the track. A little bit quicker than the Class A cars, but still nice and, you know, fun to drive. Good momentum-based machines. A little bit of a break from the other vehicles we've driven. We should let us drive the rally cars on the road course events. It's not like they don't show up when you pick some of the slower, like GT300 cars. It makes sense to have it, you know, be a vehicle available to drive. Especially as there's more of like the rally cars than the GT300 cars as well. Oh boy. Alright, come on. There we go. Big push. Big push. It's crazy how just well detailed the vehicle models are for a game that was released in what, 2001? Absolutely crazy. Like this is some, like, you know, really beautiful stuff. Especially when you compare it to like other 2001 racing games, like even Midnight Club 1. Much as I quite like Midnight Club 1, the vehicle models there are rough, shall we say. Especially when it comes to the damage modeling. But yeah, like Gran Turismo 3, it looks so good. Like you would not, like you think this is like a mid to like later PS2 game. But no, this is like almost pretty much a launch title. We're pretty close to a launch title anyway. Whoop. Alright, we're going. We're golden. There we go, perfect. Alright. A little bit spicy there. A little bit spicy. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ooh, okay, we got the NSX right up with us as well. So 2 lightweight rear-wheel drive cars versus a grippy but slightly understeery four-wheel drive. Alright, we got our work cut out for us. We got our work cut out for us. Come on. Yo, final lap. Let's do this big. Come on, chat. We got this. We got this. Absolutely love this car as well. It's a beautiful machine. Whoop. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. I hope. Yeah, we're good. Ooh. Alright, I think we're solid. I think we will be solid. We are a solid. Solid snake. You don't even say my name is a memory. It's weird how people have Pavloved themselves into thinking that that is a Metal Gear Solid song. It is a good song, and it does kind of like thematically and mood-wise fit into the theme of that game. It's like I can see why people would, you know, associate them with that. Alright, next one. Deep Forest Raceway. Alright, yeah, let's get, you know what? Let's just use the Astra Touring car. We should be able to do that with that. I haven't really raced too many of the DTM cars, so this might actually put us up against more DTM cars. Or it'll put us up against JGTC cars. That's fine. Metal Gear Solid 1. I don't know. That is a big departure from kind of what I usually stream. So I'm not sure. Alright, here we go. Bonk. Plus, there's still so many racing games I want to stream as well. Either replaying them with a challenge twist or what have you. I don't know. Lots of options. Lots of options. And so little time to do those options. Okay, this is actually quite quick. I was expecting to get blown out of the water by the GT500 cars. Yeah, mostly racing games. Just because that's what I like. I love cars. I love racing. I like going fast. Mama, I like going fast. I'm going fast, mama. But this is just a blast to do. I don't know, even since when I was young, I've always had a soft spot for the cars. Whoop, alright, little nudge against the wall. Gotta be a little bit careful there. Gosh, this track is... I miss old Deep Forest Raceway. This is just divine, exquisite. This is peak, I tell you. All right, what is the next race after this one? We will have to see. We will have to see. There we go. Nice and calm, nice and cool, nice and collected. Like a cucumber. Like a cucumber. No issues. I will fully admit though, I was not expecting, I was expecting to struggle a little bit with the DTM car versus the GT500 cars. But no, they're actually fairly balanced. Did you see some of the previous stream? Yeah, that is true. I did do a couple of RPGs, and I have done GTA. For the most part, a good, I'd say 90% of my channel is racing or racing adjacent. I will also say that when I was doing the RPGs and everything like that, not as many people showed up, and those that showed up for the RPGs didn't like the racing games and everything, and vice versa. So it was like, well, I don't want people following me just to see one stream a week, you know. So here we are, primarily doing racing games. Primarily, I still got GTA 5 going. Although this week I'm not doing it, as I am taking my wife to a baseball game Tuesday night. So that'll be fun. She loves her baseball, so I am taking her baseballing. She is a baseballer. Holla holla baseballer. Alright, come on, here we go. Yum. Even faster lap time, I'll take that. I'll probably brake a little bit later than at the striped curb. Just a little bit, I think. You know what's cool is the Opel Astra actually won its class in the Nürburgring 24 as well. Phoenix Racing did a one-off where they modified it for endurance racing. That's pretty cool. Audi was there too. The Mercedes was not. Now minding. I wonder what that actually means. Now minding dong. Up onto the curb. There we go. Little graze. Little graze of the red and white candy cane striped curbs. There we go, perfect. There be the finish line. Yum. Beautiful. Perfect. That is exactly what I want. Flawless race. No mistakes, no issues. All right, what's the next one? What's the next one? We got time for a couple more. So I wanna add to it. Special Stage Route 5. Ooh. You know, we will do that one, but I want to do something else first. I want to race the Escudo at test course. The Escudo at test course, and then we'll do the other ones. Well, I will say the 787B may have a speed in terms of top speed. Alright, so yeah, 20. Yeah, 205 is probably like right around that sweet spot. We'll have to see who's able to pass us. Downside is they are drafting in a group. That does make things a little bit tricky. Gosh. Okay. Nope. So that was a mistake. That was a genuine mistake. That was an error of biblical proportions. So you know what? You know what? Let's use one of the other race cars for test course. Let's use the Viper. Let's use the Viper. The Viper will work well, I think. Just gotta get into a draft with another GTS type car, and we'll be fine. Yeah. Oh, the R390. The R390 is gonna be a tough one. That one might be a tough cookie. But we can make this work. As long as we keep into the suck, we'll be golden. Alright, which one should we work with? Maybe the Ford GT? Yeah, probably the Ford GT. Or the Ford GT is going to leave us out to dry when we were its drafting partner. Come on. I'm trying to be smart about this. And you're being a melon. So come on. There we go. There we go. This is what will allow us to do well. Nope. Okay. Ford GT's reach its limits. So 209 is the Ford GT's top speed. So then we'll go with the Esperante. The Esperante would be the one to use as a drafting buddy. I don't want that R390 or the Zonda, as they can outdrag us on the straights when we're not in the slipstream. So I want something that we can probably pass on our own power when we need to. Come on. Stop wiggling so much. Alright, just lock up. Lock up, there we go, perfect. Gosh, look how much taller the Viper is over the Pano's Esperante as well. Jeez. No, don't tippy tap the brakes. Those are just how low slung the Esperante is. That looks so nice as well. Alright, come on. Let's keep this up. No issues, no mistakes, no errors. Here we go, another nudge. Keep nudging. Keep nudging, keep budging. Come on, I want to see how fast we can go. We are pulling away from the other cars back there, just a little bit per lap. If you would stop braking heading into these corners, you don't need to brake. We probably have even more distance. But we got this working. This is the thing. Instead of drafting everyone and then having them draft you and having like a swarm, you just get one, and you're able to push. You're able to push. And this is the way to do it. That's why I'm a little bit annoyed with Gran Turismo 4 and the 5-second penalties and everything. Because holy moly, being able to actually bump draft would make mission 23 so much easier. Is it 23? The Skyline Slipstream mission. That one. Now make that so much easier. Oh, alright. Well, I guess I'm ahead of you. So do you want to push me? No, you're gonna try to pass me instead. Of course. How could I miss that? Oh gosh! And as soon as we get out of the draft, they get right back up on us. Okay. That is not good. Okay, come on. Big push. Yeah, they have gained a bit. Let's make sure we stay ahead. The AI doesn't get bump drafting. No, they don't understand it. And they're like, "No, what are you doing? I gotta block you. Wait, ah!" Like, just chill. All right. Just calm your virtual tits. We're fine. Nope. Alright, why do you want to move down that way? Why do you want to move down that way, huh? Come on, get back in front of me so I can bump you. So we can both go faster. Like, why actively kill more speed to go down? Come on, beep boop. Thankfully, they still aren't close enough to actually draft us yet. So that is golden. So let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Boom. Alright, I'm gonna bump you again. Bump you some more. Keep it going, keep it going. Alright, they are starting to catch up a little bit. I'm a little bit concerned. The fact that we haven't really pulled as much of a gap as I would like from them. But we should still be able to win this, I think. We just gotta set it up just right coming out of the final turn. So that way we maintain the lead over the slightly more aerodynamic Penos Esperante. We're making this work. we go. Alright, come on. All the way done the final lap. Let's make sure we can put it on. Good finale, I think. Maybe. Just keep bumping. Just keep bumping. Alright. Final trick before we make our move. Come on. Oh, you don't hit your brakes there, huh? I see. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. There. There we go. Yep, bump me to the finish line. Bump me to the finish line. There we go. Perfect. We got time for probably one more race. So let's make it special stage Route 5. Let's use the Soviet. We've never actually used the Soviet before. So let's use that. Let's use that. This would be a good one. Alright. Things are looking alright. Oh, the lights are flickering a little bit. I may have to put this on the software mode to stop the flickering. Probably, yeah. Rip. Alright, give me a second. I gotta put this on software mode to prevent the flickering. Oh, it looks a little bit blurrier. You can see just how much like the emulator is definitely bumping things up a little bit. But my word, the flickering. What's weird is it doesn't happen in the wet courses, the wet versions of Special Stage Route 5, or the other night tracks like Special Stage Route 11. It's only dry Special Stage Route 5 where the lights flicker. And I'm not sure why that is. That is a strange one. Alright, come on. Oh, right. Nope, this is the change view button. How much aero is on just a 300 horsepower car, though? But it does well. It does well for itself. It's got plenty of grip. Very rapid through the corners. And it kind of combines the race car with the kind of street tuner aesthetics that really work on Special Stage Route 5. At least in my opinion. This looks really, really cool. Very strong brakes, very grippy tires, very good aero. Yeah, we got a solid solid lead now. The downforce, while definitely slowing us down on the main straight, is really allowing us to absolutely tear through the rest of these corners. Go. Right, back again to the right. This is nice though, just being able to kind of drive some of the slower racing cars that you don't normally get to in the in the game and everything, because you've unlocked them either later or the game gave you different prize cars. It is kind of cool being able to do that. Ow! Alright, that was a little spicy. That was a little spicy. I didn't mean to do that. That was a mistake on my end. But it's always cool being able to kind of, you know, drive some of those vehicles. I wish the game allowed you to drive more of these vehicles in like events and everything, and be competitive. Yori, welcome. Hope you're well. Hope you've been good. We're actually probably in our last race of the night, as it is getting late. But we completed the Seattle 100 miles, and we completed pretty much another page of the arcade races. So we're getting closer to completion. I'm planning on doing a much longer stream of this game next Sunday as well, probably an extra 2 hours, I think, to do the Tokyo Endurance. And then try to maybe see if we can't fully complete the arcade mode races. I think that'll be fun. Plus, also, you know, it'll be something where we can really, you know, enjoy, as I'll be away for another week or so next week. So, do the last stream for a little bit. So I want to make sure I get as much done, as much complete as possible. Here we go, coming up on our final lap. Let's make this work. Gosh, this car is beautiful as well. This car is great. Boom. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth through here. Alright, no issues. Back again to the right. Oh, little bit of a twitch. We're golden. Yeah, we are more than golden. This is perfect. Only a couple corners to go. Gotta get through the chicane and then the right hand sweeper. Oh boy. Alright, careful. There we go. Alright. This is gonna be perfect. I'm not sure this will be a fastest lap, but for... Oh gosh, no, not even close. That was very slow. Oof. Pain Pekka. But still, hey, we're We're getting close to completing the arcade mode as well, which adds to the completion of the game. We've done the time trials. Like, hang on, how many races left do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we've basically done half. We have done half of them. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Although I will say later on they do get a lot longer. So let's see. We've done both midfields. We've done Super Speedway. We've done both Smoky Mountains. We've done both Swiss Alps. We've done both Trial Mountains. So we need Deep Forest 2, Grand Valley 2, Rome 2, Tahiti 2, both Tahiti mazes, both Special Stage Route 11s, Côte d'Azur, Seattle 2, Special Stage 2, Wet, forwards and backwards. I think that's it. I think that's a 17. Let's see, Deep Forest 2, Special Stage 2, Special Stage Wet, that's 4, Seattle 2, that's 5, Côte d'Azur, that's 6, Grand Valley 2, that's 7, Tahiti Circuit 2, that's 8, Tahiti Maze, both, that's 10, Special Stage Route 11 2, that's 12. Tokyo 2, that's 13. Rome 2, that's 14. Yeah, I'm missing a couple, but we got some options for us. We got some options for us. So now I'm gonna save this game. Let's see how close we are. 71.1. Okay, so we're actually not that far away from getting the prize card for 75% completion. That's awesome. That is great. We're getting there. But I'm gonna be ending this stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave your like and subscribe. Let me know what you're doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what you're doing poorly so I can fix it in the future. With that being said, I've been Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, whatever time it is for you, may it be a great time, and I will see you all in the next stream. Until then, take care everybody. Bye bye!